Hey mamas, it's your girl Carrie, and welcome back to Mom Life, Career Life. Today, we're diving into something that hits deep for a lot of us working moms, finding your people, building those friendships as a working mom. But before we get into it, I want to plant a little seed because here's the thing. So many of us say we want more connection, more meaningful friendships, more girls' night out or a girls' night out if you never had one, but we're not creating space for it. And that's where boundaries come in. If you're constantly giving your time away to everyone else, your boss, your inbox, the kids' 47,000 activities that you haven't signed up for, then friendship falls to the bottom of your list. And not because it's not important, but because you literally have no space for it. And that's why I created my free guide, Boundaries Made Simple, because when you start protecting your time, even in the small ways, you start creating space for the things that actually fill you back up, like soul-filling friendships, the kind that make you feel human again. So if you're listening and thinking, I don't even know where I'd fit a friend in right now, then I really want you to grab that free guide. The link is in the show notes. Start there, protect your time, and you're going to be really amazed at what and who starts to fit into your life again. All right, let's get into it.
Are you feeling overwhelmed trying to juggle all the many hats you wear as a working mom? Do you want more quality time with your family without distraction of work and time alone to take care of yourself and your needs? Welcome to Mom Wife Career Life. I'm Carrie, a wife, mom of 3, and a recovering perfectionist. In this podcast, I will teach you how to create balance in your life by implementing healthy habits, organizing your home and your schedule, being intentional with your time and in your relationships, and most importantly, how to start putting your needs first because no one can pour from an empty cup. Grab that second cup of coffee, or if you're anything like me, your third. It's time to dive into today's episode of Mom Wife Career Life.
Let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually made a new friend? Like a real one, not just a coworker you chat with in between back-to-back Zoom calls or a fellow sports mom you nod at from across the bleachers. I'm talking about that girl that makes you laugh, the one that texts you memes, the ones you don't have to explain yourself to kind of friend. Someone you can call and say, I'm hiding in my minivan and eating fries because it's been that kind of day. And they won't judge you. They'd say, I'm on my way over. And if you're sitting there thinking, wow, it's been a minute since I made a friend, you're totally not alone. And the truth, making friends as an adult is hard, especially as a busy working mom. Sometimes it can really feel impossible. We're balancing careers, deadlines, emails, school lunches, lost socks, birthday parties, and some of us are still dreaming of those 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep, which makes social connections feel like something extra, something optional, or a nice to have. And honestly, sometimes we're just so drained by the end of the day that the idea of making a new friend feels like one more thing on a to-do list that we're already behind on. But I really want to flip that script today because having friendships is really an important piece of that work-life balance puzzle that we're all working for, especially for us moms. Friendships remind you that you're not the only one Googling easy Instapot meals at 4:47 p.m. while answering emails and folding laundry. It gives you laughter when you need it most. It helps you feel seen. It helps you feel heard. And it kind of helps you feel human again. But why is it so hard? First of all, logistics. We're working all day, then we're running to sports or dance or tutoring. We might squeeze in a little workout. If you're lucky, then it's dinner, dishes, bedtime. And by the time we finally sit down, we don't want to socialize. We want Netflix and stretchy pants. Second, vulnerability. Making new friends as an adult is awkward. And you're wondering, will she think I'm weird if I ask her to hang out? Or do I sound desperate if I text her twice? The fear of rejection is real. And third, our expectations. We want deep ride or die friendships like we had in college, but life looks totally different now. And we have to redefine what friendship looks like in this season. It might be the voice memos during a commute, a monthly brunch, or that 5-minute check-in that really just ends up meaning the world to you. And I get all of it. I've had a hard time making friends my entire life. I've always had 1 or 2 close friends, but a group of girlfriends, nope. I grew up with an RBF, but this is a clean show, so I can't say what that stands for. Most of you know it, but if you don't know what it is, Google it. But basically, when my face is at rest state, I don't really look approachable. I also used to be a lot more introverted and have social anxiety. So package that all together, and it's totally not the best recipe for making friends. College was a lot easier because it's filled with peers. I joined a sorority. I always had a boyfriend, so I always had his friends too. But when I graduated college and started adulthood, I moved back with my parents who had moved from Queens to Staten Island when I was in college, so I knew nobody. Russ was still in college, so I would go back and visit him on the weekends. And when he graduated, he moved in with my parents too. Eventually, we saved to buy our first house, got married, had Ashley, then Kaylee, then Michael. And we lived in Staten Island for 13 years, I think, almost 14. And I only had one mom friend that I would occasionally have play dates with. It was tough. I had friends from college that we would hang out with when we could coordinate time. And I had a few friends from my old neighborhood that I kept in touch with. But I didn't have any local mom friends that I could make quick plans with. There was this group of moms that I really wanted to be friends with, but they had all been friends for years. And I didn't know how to break into that group. I would just be at a school event and hope that they would invite me to do something. They never did. And I don't blame them at all because it's a two-way street. And I probably gave off the impression that my street was totally closed. I also had one foot out the door because I knew we wanted to move to New Jersey. And fast forward to our move, top on my must-have list was a town with a sense of community because it was something I really longed for. The second house we lived in Staten Island, we were in for 5 years. And I only know two of my neighbors. And the only time we actually talked to them was after a snowstorm when we were out shoveling, kind of forced in that awkwardness to acknowledge each other. It was a completely different vibe. But we literally moved to the perfect town. And when we moved, I made a promise to myself that I was turning over a new leaf, that I was going to get out of my comfort zone, put myself out there, and make friends. And I did. And I promise you, if you ask anyone that knows me right now if they think I'm an introvert or if I have social anxiety, they would say, no way, because I seem like such an outgoing person. But it's something that I have to work on all of the time. And I tell you that because I know how hard it can be. But I promise you, if I can make friends, so can you. So how do you actually make friends? Let's break it down. First, start where you already are. The easiest place to make friends are in your day-to-day interactions, the school pickup, the break room, the sidelines, the gym, if you're lucky enough to have time to go to the gym. You're surrounded by potential friends. The key? Be curious. If you're standing outside school with a bunch of parents around you, say something about the weather or maybe compliment an accessory someone have on. Who doesn't love a compliment? That's a great icebreaker. And then maybe ask what grade their kids are in. Or if you're at a school activity, start a conversation with the other moms. Volunteering at school really helped me because you already have something in common with them, and it's an easy segue into what grade are your kids in or what activities do your kids do out of school. At work, reach out to colleagues for coffee breaks or lunch. You already have work in common, so you can start the combo there and then let it get a little personal by saying, enough about work. What do you like to do for fun? Or in your community, go out and attend local events, workshops, or volunteer activities where you might meet moms that are into the same things as you. Next, use social media or apps. Facebook isn't just for selling things or stalking people or posting pictures of how you spent your weekend. It can really be your secret weapon for finding real friends right in your neighborhood. Go and search your town or zip code with words like moms, working moms, playdates, coffee chats, women's circles. I'm sure a bunch of options will come up. Join them all and then go through the threads to see what people are posting and use the search feature. I prefer mom or female groups. I find the co-ed groups have drama in them and just negative vibes. And I seriously have zero time for drama, especially on Facebook. So stick to the ones that you feel good about when you scroll through them. And once you find one that you like, go for it. Post something like, hey moms, I'm new to the area and looking for some connection and you'll want to grab a coffee or go for a walk sometime. Or just comment on someone else's thread and see where it leads. True story. We moved to our town at the end of the school year. Ashley was a rising third grader, Kaylee first grade, and Michael was 2, right about to turn 3. And our community center has great mini camps for kids. So I literally showed up on the first day of signups and I signed the girls up for every single camp that they had. I was the first in line thinking that the camps would fill up quick. When I say I was the first in line, I think I was really the only person in line. And they laughed at me saying that they think I broke the record for the amount of camps that someone signs up for. But fast forward 8 weeks of camp, and I don't know how much money I spent later, they did not meet one kid, either of them, that would be in the same school as them or in the same grade. And I really didn't want them starting a new school without a familiar face in the hallway. So I went on our local moms group. I pushed that introvert inside of me to the side, and I posted saying I was new to the neighborhood, gave my kids ages, I mentioned the school that they were going to, and I asked if there were any moms with kids in those grades that would be willing to meet up at a park so my girls would have a friendly feast on their first day. And a mom reached out with girls, both my girls' age. And not only did she reach out, she set up a little play date at the school playground with a couple of other moms and their kids. And it was absolutely amazing. And you know what? Our girls ended up becoming best friends and they are like family to us now. So you never know what that one post will do. Number 3, be open and approachable. Let's be honest for a second. Making new friends as a working mom can feel a lot like dating, but without those free meals, it takes guts, it takes vulnerability, and it takes a lot of energy. But one of the most powerful things you can do to build new friendships is simply show up and be open, be curious, and be genuinely interested in the people around you and be mindful of your body language. I had to work real hard on my RBF. It's something I have to be mindful about. And there are times when I forget and my face falls into that don't you dare approach me mode. But the more you're aware, the easier it is to fix. And also watch your arms. If you have your arms crossed, it's another sign that you don't want to be approached. So again, just really think about it when you're standing on those sidelines or you're standing at school pickup, how approachable you look. Number 4, be the initiator. I know this is the really hard part. You might feel like everyone already has a friend group or like you're coming off too strong, but trust me, most moms are just waiting for someone else to make the first move. So start with something light, but something real, like, oh, your diaper bag's so cute. Where'd you get it? Or if you're at a mommy and me class, is it your first time at this class? Or, hey, I think our kids are in the same class. I'm Carrie. What's your name? You're not being awkward, you're being intentional. So send the text, set up the play dates, be the one who makes the plans. It doesn't have to be fancy. Something like, hey, you want to grab a coffee after drop off or want to go for a walk during lunch? Lead with the low pressure invites so it's not weird, it's brave. Number 5, say yes to the invite. I know schedules are packed and it's really hard to add another thing to your calendar, but you need to be social to build those relationships. So if you have an invite or an opportunity where there might be peers at, show up, even if you're tired, even if you'd rather stay in. I feel you. I would much rather be on my couch than go out any day. Even if the idea of socializing makes your eyes twitch, say yes. That PTA meeting or coworker happy hour might be where you meet your new BFF. Number 6, be authentically you. This is a big one. Don't try to be someone you think someone else wants you to be. If you're a little sarcastic, be a little sarcastic. If your life is a hot mess express right now, own it. If you're a planner who loves color-coded calendars, I promise you, there's another mom out there that would love to talk about what your favorite pen set is. I'm totally that mom. The right people will love you for you. You don't need to pretend to be the fun mom or the craft mom or the chill mom if you're really just trying to keep everyone alive and get out the door with their pants on. Being yourself attracts your people, and those are the friendships that are going to feel easy. Number 7, don't take it personally. Some moms are in survival mode. Strike that. A lot of moms are in survival mode, and some friendships won't click, and that's okay. Your people are out there, so keep showing up. Don't take a lack of response or chemistry as a reflection of your worth. It's not personal, it's timing, it's chemistry, it's capacity. And I love this quote, rejection is God's redirection. And also, don't give up on someone if you didn't click the first time. One of my absolute best friends right now, the first couple of times I hung out with her, I was like, who is this girl? She asks a ton of questions. And I'd walk away from her feeling like I got probed. But now she is one of my most favorite people. So you never know. Don't give up on them. Number 8, hang out with couples. That's honestly how I found my tribe. We all have kids in the same grade, and it started with getting the kids together, and then we'd hang out as families. Then it turned into girls' nights, to the guys going to play golf together, to going on vacations together. We even took an amazing girls' trip to Vegas, and that was so much fun. It was my first girls' trip, and it won't be my last. But when your kids are little and you feel like you can't go anywhere without bringing the kids, couple friends can really be that lifeline. Their kids entertain your kids, and suddenly you can finish a full sentence without being interrupted for snacks. And the beauty of it, as the kids get older and more independent, those friendships evolve. You start hanging out without the kids, and that's awesome. You remember what it feels like to laugh over a drink, talk about more than school calendars, and be you again. So if there's a family that you like hanging out with, lean into that. Invite them over for a casual barbecue, suggest a pizza night or a game night. See if it turns into something more, because sometimes your future ride or die girlfriends are sitting across the table from you at a neighborhood hangout, and your husband is already bonding with theirs over fantasy football and lawn care. I don't know when lawn care became such a thing, but it always seems to be a topic this time of year. And bonus, it's built-in babysitting treats for those date nights. Number 9, find your people in groups, not just one-on-one. Making friends one-on-one, especially if you're an introvert, can feel really awkward. That's why I'm a big fan of group settings. It takes the pressure off and it gives you room to just be you and not feel the pressure of having to find something to talk about all the time. Think book clubs, yoga classes, walking groups, or even a PTA meeting. We had one mom in our PTA organize a monthly mom's night out, and I went a couple of times, but I talked to moms that I would never have talked to otherwise. So just start showing up to spaces where other moms gather. And especially in group settings, you get a feel for different personalities, you see who you click with, and you build those connections naturally. Plus, it gives you a chance to find those Me Too moments that really lead to friendships. And last but not least, number 10, be patient and persistent. I wish I could tell you that your new bestie is going to show up in your life with a welcome basket and a shared love of Bravo, but real friendships, they do take time. Some friendships click right away. Others take a few awkward coffee dates, a couple of missed texts, and a random school event where you finally hit it off over a mutual hatred of balloon tie. I have a love-hate relationship with balloons. I think they're so pretty, but I hate tying them. But don't get discouraged. Even if you feel like the odd mom out at first, I feel you, been there, done that. I promise you it gets better. So keep putting yourself out there, keep smiling, and keep being you. And you don't need a lot of hours or perfectly aligned schedules. You need consistency, you need honesty, and a shared sense of humor about the chaos of motherhood. If you can laugh about mom guilt, office drama, and toddlers eating off the floor, you found your tribe. You don't need a million new friends. You just need a few genuine connections where you can show up messy, you could show up real, and not feel judged. So the next time you're in a space with other moms, whether it's school pickup, a community event, a yoga class, or even in that Facebook group, practice being open, smile, make eye contact, offer a compliment, ask a question. You might just meet someone who's been praying for a friend just like you. And when you take time to nourish your friendships, when you send that text that you've been meaning to check in on someone, when you say yes to that walk, when you open up, even when it's uncomfortable, you show up better in every part of your life, at work, at home, with your kids, and most importantly, with yourself. And by following these simple steps, you can find and nurture meaningful friendships that fit into your busy life as a working mom. And remember, friendships are a source of joy and support. And investing in the time in them is investing in your own happiness and your own well-being. So keep reaching out, keep connecting, and you're going to find your tribe too. And if you haven't joined our online tribe yet, come on over to Work-Life Balance for Working Moms and come hang out with us. If you don't already follow the show, take a second and hit that follow button so you never miss another episode. Sending you so much love and light until next time on Mom Wife Career Life with Carrie Pat. Before you go, if you found this podcast helpful, I would be so grateful if you would take a minute, go on over to iTunes and leave me a review. If you have other stressed out mamas in your life that you feel this podcast could help, take a screenshot of this episode, post it on your Instagram stories and tag me, and let them know that they are not alone and they can create balance in their life too. If there's a topic you'd like me to cover or you just want to connect, DM me on Instagram at mom.wife.career.life or come on over and hang out in our free Facebook community, Work-Life Balance for Working Moms. Sending you so much love and light until next time on Mom Wife Career Life with Carrie Pat.